Hi, Soul Family. I'm Shannon Pardini with Quantum Heart Conversations, and I'm here with my beautiful friend and guest, Dafna Ohana. She's with Healing Roots Hypnotherapy. And today we're going to dive deep on a topic that's just really been coming up for Dafna. And so I'm going to sit with her and see what channeled information's coming through. But our topic today is the symmetry of creation. And we want to talk about the cosmic energies that are alive in this now. There's a lot of energy moving. We're all feeling it. So I'm just going to let Dafna take it away.
Thank you, Shannon. It's wonderful to be with you, audience, again, that we're connecting with. And I want to talk about the symmetry of creation, which is an idea that came about really seeing into the sacred geometrical pattern and how our invisible architecture is intersecting with the energies that are present. And to simplify things, I'm going to present it in a way that I think is manageable for us to assimilate, because it's such a, if we look from the cosmic point of view, nothing is linear. So I am going to give it some structural linear uh, images just so that we are able to connect with the information. And so think about the way that the cosmos is working with us. You know, let's think about it as three circles. You have a circle that is the cosmos, the cosmic order, universal law. And then you have a circle that is humanity, and all the individuals and snowflakes that we are in our own designs. And then we have the third circle, which is the earth. And these circles, I call them the spheres of creation, and they intermingle and they create and shape the way in which we are experiencing reality, or also shaping the reality itself as it emerges and keeps in constant shape shifting. And so there is an invisible architecture that correlates to our organism that is very layered. It's multiples in Claire, but it connects with the universal grid, with that one orb that is with the cosmos. And we ourselves are bridging those energies into the earth. So sort of like we are at the center. And I want to talk to these three circles because I was thinking of the next year, which is 2022, and we have a triple uh, number of two, which to me represents the fact that the duality may arise, but whenever you have three, there is another organism that is created through the divine cord, and something has to give, something has to shapeshift within the the structure of the reality that is happening. And I'm very excited about it. um, as far as energies and numbers, when we have it comes to 6 next year, it's really the number of harmony. It's a number of balance. And number 5, which we're basically moving and ending, is change. 5 is the number of change, and the point in between, the point, between 1 and 9. So it's a very changeable energy, and we felt it this year. So I'm going to talk more about the invisible architecture as we talk about the energies that are connecting. But the point that I wanted to present really is that the energies of the cosmos and the way that the stars, the planetoid, all these luminaries, plants that are within the sky are a, if you will, a map or a points of energies that connects with our internal architecture. And the beauty of what I'm seeing as I'm diving more into astrology in my own way is how these points within the sky and how they connect with our how they are connected with our solar system are shifting. Even within the cosmos, we are actually noticing the shift of the ages. And so I just wanted to mention that because we're going to start seeing things like Sedna, like the planetoid Sedna that we've connected with, and Umea is another one that we're going to come in connection with, are very much corresponding to the ancient wisdom coming back. When we look at Saturn and the planets, and when we talk a lot about astrology, we talk about mythology. And the new energies that are kissing our solar system are actually Native American. And really, they are speaking to wisdom that hasn't been so much connected with us in our human journey. So I just want to point that out because it never happened before. And I believe the reason that they are kissing our solar system is because we're ready. And it's time for us to connect with these threads of energies that we haven't had access before because we've raised our frequency to a certain degree. And so I want to see what you have to say before I go into various aspects, if there is something that came up for you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It all holds true, and it's beautiful to hear the way that you're seeing it and explaining it, because I wasn't even tapping into Sedna and Yamaya, but when you brought in those energies, I thought, wow, how perfect. You know, I could see the archetypes, but I could see the real information, the real truths of the feminine rising in the release of that old architecture. Just dismantling when you said that we kissed upon these energies. And there's, again, with synchronicity, there's just so much truth with what you're seeing in my body. You know, I just felt the chills, and the indigenous part of me just felt a great release where, oh, we're all being seen, we're all being shined upon. This, you know, illumination of truth is so, it's just clearly coming through in the most beautiful threads into each and every one of us. And, you know, with you saying that we're the center, right? The snowflakes, the human in the center. I mean, how incredible is that, that each and every one of us is in the center? We're the ones that are allowing our beautiful physical vessels to open up and to, you know, not catch or hold on, but become these threads and let them intertwine into our DNA and have the new expression of new earth. So that's really what came up with me with hearing your words.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I love the layers that you've added there. And yes, absolutely. We are the one that are our own invisible architecture is the one that have brought the ability to shift the consciousness in here. We are the one that our souls have been ready for this. I mean, we've been positioned on this earth. We were born with this divine mission activated at a certain time within our DNA. And part of what I want to add after you talked about this, how we are the snowflakes in here, is that the way that we are able to intersect with this energy, and the reason for it is, think about it, we've had certain inner technology, ancient technology within us that has been blocked away from our perception, let's say. we've so much focused on the physical material that we've basically created, what was created was dormant pinpoints within the DNA. And because we have been thirsty to reconnect with the soul, so many of us, what happened is these points within the DNA has been highlighted and energized and activated so that we are able to open the gateway wider to bridging these ancient wisdoms that are part of our DNA. But it's amazing to see how there is certain sequence of events that happen within the cosmic configuration that open these doorways in a certain divine order. There is absolutely a divine order, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the configuration of the sky at the end of the year, because what I'm noticing is that we sometimes get really intense. We get the Saturn that is constricting, but we also, what's the cosmic sky is sort of like creating this perfect arrangement where Uranus is coming and touching Saturn. So Uranus is wanting freedom and revolution. And then he comes with the constriction of Saturn to show where are we constricted? Where do we need to move into the future self? And where do we need to revolutionize both ourselves and the reality we are forming? And so there is always this beautiful design that threads these elements. And so I want to talk to a few of them that are alive right now. And one of the big ones is Venus, which is usually doesn't have a retrograde every year. It has it and this time it's a long journey, and the reason why the Venus sort of like journey into the underworld is so potent this time is because she's conversing with Pluto, and we all know Pluto is quite a big hitter in the sky. And we also have Pluto, the United States Pluto return next year, and Venus is going to have a conversation exactly at the degree of the United States. Now, you can't make up this stuff. This is big moving objects within the configuration of the cosmos, and how this cosmic order is coalescing and dancing with us in perfection to bring these storms, both inner and outer, so that we are broken open from the structures that keep us small. And so Venus is asking, she's moved a lot through December, and started the conversation with Pluto, not on the exact degree of the United States, but started with it for the last 7 days of December has been really intense, because she's asking us what's important, what's coming forward with you next year, what are your values. And because she is conversing with Pluto, this is connected to bloodline, this is connected to not values that culturally have been with us in society, that have been circulating within the collective for a very long time. And for us to really ask, are these values ours? Do they work for our life? Is this really truly what matters to us, what we cherish? And so this is the way that the Venus is going to be intense. Now she's in Capricorn, and Capricorn is a pretty serious sign, and the movement of Capricorn, and that's where I was thinking about the archetype, is like the goat. And think about it, the goat looks into the abyss as it's travel on a very, very sharp edge of a mountain. It can only focus on where it is and what's the next step. It cannot concern itself too far ahead, and it cannot look down. And to me, that's a great revelation of where we are, because we cannot see the steps ahead, because we are still in formation. And the information is informed by everything that happens and the moment to moment unraveling. And so that's part of it. The other part that I find beautiful, before I stop and see what's coming to you, is Pisces is in Jupiter. It entered yesterday, and Pisces in Jupiter is co-ruled by Pisces. Jupiter is Sagittarius and Pisces, so it's at home in there, and so it's amplified. And Jupiter is benevolent. Jupiter is optimistic. In Pisces, it tells us to trust our intuition, to trust the mystery. It gives us the courage to tune into the mystery. It also opens the veils between worlds, and we are able to attune to the guidance of the divine more. It's also the water of our emotions. How do we feel about the things? And the mystery and the feminine and the flow of everything. And so I find that it's beautiful that we have these coalescing energies of Pisces in Jupiter, which will be there till mid-May, and it's going to travel through degrees that it traveled for a long time, and that's the end, that's the last pass. So something is coming to a completion within it before it moves into a different sign. And so we've traveled with these energies, and the way that they usually work within the cosmic configuration is that they connect with various luminaries to sometimes push us, sometimes to give us courage, sometimes to give us rest. It's amazing to actually see how the sequences are in perfect divine orchestration. To me, I'm really, as you can see, loving the exploration.
Really beautiful and again synchronistic. The Venetian energies are and have been the strongest I've ever felt this year, and including the retrogrades. It's such a time with those energies of just being so honest and truthful, and not only in myself, but I see it in others, where with these energies coming in, we're allowed to be objective with our families. We're allowed to be objective with our friends. You know, we've had so much come in on the collective to dismantle old programming, but now we can see that programming within ourselves. We've seen so much of this outside nonsense that we can look inside our beautiful vessel and be in a space where, oh, I'm playing this out in a lot of looping patterns. And I truly believe this Venetian energy has been, it's such a blessing, because we're opening ourselves now to looking at each and every one of the people we love and honor, to see what they're reflecting to us and if it serves us anymore. And that's a pivotal point, especially with the Venetian energies, because if we're not being truthful with what we're feeling inside, and I keep relating this to the Venetian, energies, and I think maybe this has a lot to do with the retrograde too, but if we're not being truthful with what's going on inside us and not expressing what really needs to be shared in our authenticity, there's that huge resistant pattern playing out in the body, and it is such an awful feeling frequency, and it's so interwoven in the DNA, and it holds us back from everything. The more that we hold back who we are, we're not allowed to express our DNA in the way that it's threading onto all these areas that Dafna is talking about to give us this freedom. And so when you shared the Venetian energies and what's happening, that's what I can relate in the bigger picture coming from my world. And, what I'm hearing and sharing with other people is this beautiful energy is allowing us to be the most authentic we've ever been. And I know that we're all feeling it inside, and it's exciting. And, yes, our throat chakra might be blocked because it's scary to express, what you're truly feeling, because we're so used to being in these lower frequencies where we're entrapped, or we're in this karmic cosmic dance, but we know we don't want to be there anymore. And so again, taking the Venus retrograde and all, everything you're learning, if you can just tune into yourself just with that aspect and honor, okay, I'm done, I really want to start expressing myself in a whole new way. Well, there you have it. This energy is here for you to run with it and to honor it, because again, the collective is waiting for each and every one of us to show up in that way. If we all come through and express our divine truths, then we release more of this old paradigm. It just dissipates, it drops off, and then again, we hook in to these planetary connections that are waiting for us to receive, receive, receive. And so we just dance in all these new creations.
Yeah, I love what you added. And, when I heard you speaking about it, it is the Venusian energies going to the underworld, but it's also another aspect that I didn't mention is the Chiron in Aries. And Chiron is the wounded healer. Usually it represents in our birth map a point of the divine, the biggest wound, if you will. And now it's moving through Aries. So what it gives us power to our sovereignty. It gives us the courage, as you said, to speak to what's true for us. It gives us courage, and it also gives us the heart energy to initiate changes in ourselves, as you said, and see what no longer is in resonance for us drops away. It gives us the strength to move certain things from our lives, and it gives us the courage to be who we are. It asks us, in fact, it gives us, and these energies that are traveling in Chiron in Aries are completing something that has been very alive for us, specifically from May 2020, something that came to a head point, and it's basically dissolving now. It really is giving us the last push to be in the conviction of our warriorship with it. And we've been the spiritual warrior muscle, I call it, has been stretched and worked for a long time. And sometimes, people that are really engaged in this work think that we're going to get into when is it going to stop, some people ask. And the, and what came to me is that there isn't a purpose in why our spiritual warrior strength has been fortified, like we've been fortified with it. There is a reason why we are going through all these fiery initiations, because we are mentored to step into the next level. And it does get easier, as we all know, all of us that do this work, it gets easier to navigate, I would say. It gets we are learning how to flow in divine grace through changes much more. It's more, we learn also to, I think we've learned to be kind when we gaze inwards, which is a big thing that, some of us work so hard, and I think we are our biggest, I wouldn't say judge, but we tend to put a very high standard on what this journey is, on our devotion. We understand that there is a devotion, and sometimes I think it took us a while to really find the compassion and more of the gentleness of the feminine, and to just understand that, yeah, sometimes we have a bump in the road. It's okay.
I think
It's
we're
okay for us
also,
to
yeah, and this is maybe something you can tap into is, with that said, and sorry for interrupting you, but it was coming through, we're
no.
understanding our bodies more in the architecture of our bodies. We're understanding that these feelings within the physical vessel, the chemical reactions, we're starting to learn that those aren't ours. And that a lot of that has been manipulated again by programming and by outside forces that want to keep us in these looping patterns where we feel this chemical reaction, chemical reaction, chemical reaction. But with our bodies are so intelligent. And I do feel like as a collective, we are more tuning into that and receiving that. That's not me. That's not me. You know, that feeling is so foreign, even though it's always there, but that's not me. And the more we attune to these chemical reactions and realize that it's not your physical vessel's natural state, I think that gets easier too with what Dafna said. We're coming into this realization where it's easier to navigate this spiritual path, because if something feels awful in a lower frequency, that's not your path. It's really pushing you into a space of go higher, think in a bigger perspective, honor your body. Your body doesn't want that. You know, so I think there's an attunement too that's coming into each and one of our physical vessels. No matter how dense we are, there's something happening with that too. Would you say, or can you connect with that?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We are moving density through our body, and the density also that we're moving, when you say the programming and things, because we are becoming a unified, we are weaving back into the heart of the one and the heartbeat of the universe. We are more in our organism, in our architecture, are making the connection to the unified field. And when we do that, obviously we're going to feel more the entire field, what's not ours. But we, as you said, we also know what's ours and what's not ours, and we know how to navigate and dance within it. And we also know what we need to do in order to take care of the vessel. We know when we need to move the energy, we know when we need to rest, we know when we need stillness, we know when we need mama, mother Gaia. We know how these elementals that we are weaving with help us come back into the center. And part of what I wanted to also present, and you reminded me by talking about it, is the fact that our axis, the center point of our architecture, is shifting. I don't know if this audience have heard about the axis change of the earth. I'm imagining that we have. The axis point of the earth has changed. And as I said when in the beginning, when I talked about the three orbs, we are part of this. The reason the axis of the earth have been in the process of shifting is because the axis was no longer weaving with our body, and we've wanted to move back into the axis of divine accord. The axis has shifted so far from that that we needed a different grid. That's why when we talk about third, fourth, fifth grid, the third grid, because it's so much denser and because it's the focal point of that axis, it's so materialistic competition, we have basically created a different grid that is connected in a straight, connected in a line with the universal, with the cosmic order. We are bringing all that design that connects with our invisible architecture, and that um, that opens the gateway to all these divine connections that we are starting also to integrate. Now, I know that I'm talking about it in a very linear manner just in order to express it, but think about it. If the axis of change of the earth changing, and we are here while it's changing, think about what your body is going through. You just because the way that we shape reality is through the electromagnetic field of the earth, and if it's moving, this entire architecture, both within the earth, within the grids of the earth, is moving, and we are intersecting and interconnecting with the cosmic order and the universe. All these things move through what? Through a nice little snowflake, in this incarnation that is a speck of time within the continuum of the evolution of our species. It's big.
It's incredible. And the way that I see it, it's just so fascinating to me that our body, it's slow to catch up, but it keeps up. This physical vessel's architecture is just incredibly dynamic and incredibly intelligent. And so when you said our axis has changed, well, I see like our etheric umbilical cords, plugged into Mother Gaia, and we're shifting and changing. We're all moving all over the place. We're repositioning ourselves, and that's really important to the axis too, of where we plant our etheric umbilical cords, because we're channeling that energy. We're not only connecting to Gaia and grounding in, but we're channeling that energy up, and then we pull in the galactic energy. So we're always given this cosmic, beautiful, I don't know if it's a wormhole or what, but this cosmic, beautiful energy of rebirth. You have this creation energy just coming in, and our bodies are so attuned of where that placement is. When you get this grand call of, I need to go move to Kauai right now, or, anywhere, the mountains, or just a change of pace, or I need to put myself in the city. Your body is such a channeled vessel for that. It knows what it's being asked to do in all these beautiful just synchronicities of the planets, the alignment, the coherent field. What do you call the field? The quantum field, but you have another name for it.
Matrix.
Well, more of the field
that's
coming in now. The more
the inner planes.
We'll just say inner planes, but again, it's just when you said it's amazing what our bodies are going through. It's truly amazing what our bodies are going through and shifting into. It's just, there is no words to define how miraculous this is in our positioning, each and every one of us on this planet.
Yeah, absolutely. And, before I go into the nodal axis, which I want to talk about, because that's another thread that we have been dancing with through the cosmic order. When you talked about rebirth and this etheric core that we are dancing both above and below, both bringing in and anchoring, and just keep coalescing and dancing with these energies up and down. Umea, which I just touched upon, and I'm going to talk more and more as I dive more into these bodies that kiss our solar system. I just love that image. Umea's shape is different. It's a shape like an egg. It's basically shaped like an egg, and it represents birth and rebirth. And I just find that incredible incredible that she's touching our solar system when we're going through this massive revolution of soul in our species. I just it gives me goosebumps just to think about how amazing and how much of a confirmation it is that we are so interweaved into the soul of the earth and you know, the cosmic breath, and that everything works as one harmonic chords that creates this melody we are a part of. It's just, to me, it's magic. It's magic.
That energy is it to me. When every time you say it, the words I hear is just cosmic order. Hello, we're just picking it back up. We're having a little technology. All these high energies want to come in and play. So I'm going to let Dafna pick it up from here. What I was saying, though, is I think that the energies of Yamaya is, to me, it's just cosmic order, and it's all of the multiverse working as one with us. And when I think of the image itself, I'm just like, wow, you know, when you say it's that egg shape, that great birthing, well, we have access to rebirthing every aspect of ourselves now. So it's there, it's here, it's clogging up our Zoom call. Just kidding. Wanting to come through and rebirth with us. So I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you. Sure. So yeah, the energies of Umea and the rebirth also are interrelating to the last aspect that I wanted to bring up, which is the karmic nodes. And the karmic nodes travel about 18 months in the nodal axis, and we've traveled through Gemini and Sagittarius, and Gemini and Sagittarius brought up duality versus the truth and what you believe in, and do you want to put more emphasis on the differing of opinion. And one of the element that I want to mention in here, as I'm looking at the elements of it, Gemini is air and Sagittarius is fire. So do we want to put more air into and fire up more opposition, because I'm looking at it as a one axis? Or do we want to, rather than being holier than thou, which Sagittarius sometimes can be, with pointing to the truth, do we want to bring the other fire energy, which is heart, to the differing of opinion, and rather than having more of an opposition, create more space between us and find a point where we belong to one another and to everything? And so this is the kind of element that I'm looking at. So now we are moving into the Taurus and Scorpio and talk about rebirth. Scorpio is all about the rebirthing energies, and Taurus, which is going to be the North Node, is going to connect with Uranus. So we have both the North Node, which usually pulls us to where the soul wants to grow and evolve, and Taurus is the embodiment as well. And then we have Uranus, which is this electric energy added to this and amplifies the energy of both Uranus in the sign as well as the North Node. So in Taurus, again, it's going to also coalesce a bit with the Venusian energy that connects to finances, because Venus is about values around money and what's abundance and what's success, and you know, so I see all these dens together, but then also the embodiment as well as the well-being of the earth that is going to rise up, because Taurus is about Gaia Sophia, it is about the earth. And so I do foresee that we're going to see more of nature speaking to us, so that we come into a greater alignment with the way in which we live upon with her, you know. And so The other aspect that I want to bring is the element. We have earth and we have water, so we want to cultivate the earth with what kind of water, what kind of emotional energy do we want to bring, and uh, how do we want to water our life and the embodiment that we're traveling through. How do we nourish ourselves is also Taurus. So the nourishment and what we water and what we cultivate, and the seeds we want to give water to, all this is, to me, would be very alive when Taurus is moving in this axis. And to me, I always look at the points, we call them opposing point, but it's the point of rebirthing the way in which we walk here. To me, I take the point of the scorpionic energy, and it's the merging of the highest octave and finding the point where we take the highest octave of both, and we create, a beautiful garden. We need water for the, for to grow, to nourish ourselves, to nourish the earth, to nourish life. Water is life. And so that, to me, is very alive with these energies.
And also with the water is intelligence. It's, every intention that we put out there goes into the water, into the hydrogen atoms of our body, and it it creates. And so to really, really, when we are working with the waters, when we're drinking water, when we're around water, and just with our bodies, intend something higher, intend, what you do want to see in the world in the highest vibrational aspects every day. It's the biggest part of our creation and of our planet. Our garden planet is absolutely amazing, and it is majority of water. And so it's beautiful to bring these elements in, and for us to honor that we even have them helping us. It's just, again, I'm always amazed as what we are as the human species, the light body, and how we work so amazingly in just these synchronistic patterns with the multiverse. And so just giving yourself a chance to, when you are around water, to bless it and to bless all these aspects, because they're playing out around us every nano second, whatever time is. I don't believe in time, but these are playing out in this field of energy. And so again, it's us. It really comes down to each and every one of us as the beautiful snowflake. What do you want your snowflake to look like? Right? Those beautiful, like water, the crystals that it makes. I want my snowflake to be just singing angelic little songs. But yeah, thank you for just bringing this to our attention of, how you attune to astrology. You really, to me, you give it what it needs, because it's a roadmap. It is a beautiful roadmap that we can plug into, and it's in our bodies. Everything that Dafna has spoken about today, I'm sure your body is buzzing, the little different areas where they're like, oh, we're finally seen, we're all here together in this collective. So thank you for what you share. It really brings a lot of meaning to me and what I am.
Thank you. And thank you for what you are adding to this beautiful dance we are here collaborating on and sharing.
It's a fun one.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you want to do a attunement for all of us
Yes,
to get us
I
in that
would. Yeah.
space? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So let us get comfortable, and I'm going to just close my eyes as well and just tune inwards, bringing our awareness to the inner home, to the sanctuary, a at the core center, and just really focusing on our own snowflake and bringing ourselves into a position within these spheres of creation, into a position of where we want our life to flourish. We are such magnificent creatures, and we have so much more greater access to the multidimensional structure and organism of our human design. And so as we are surrounded, blessed by these benevolent energies that keep accelerate and grow stronger both around and within us and around us, as we are grateful for their presence and their assistance in the process that is taking place through our bodies. And so as we connect with the breath and allow the cosmic breath to coalesce with our own breath, connecting with the cosmic order, with universal law, and opening the gateway to the cosmic energies that presently are opening in our DNA as per our unique design. Really honoring our own unique complexity of design and the vibrational signature that is ours to master, so that we become these pillars and assist in the connection points within the unified field. We are one of those points within the field and the heartbeat of the one. And so as we connect with our heart and connect with the pillar of light that runs through our bodies and coalescing and bringing our bodies in all of their layers into a coherent state, there is a chord of divine symmetry within our inner technology. Let us open, activate, and amplify the DNA trigger points that connect our being and organism with this invisible architecture. Let us integrate the energetics within the inner design so that we are able to position ourselves within the spheres of creation in a way that allows us to align with all that is deeply important to us, aligning ourselves within the creation playfield in a way of our deepest values, of all that we cherish, of all that assists us in flourishing, blooming our heart and soul. Let the lotus within our heart open wide. Let the channel of the higher heart be our guiding cord. And let the harmonics of our soul echo their sound and vibrational signature within the echo technology of our unique design. Let us just be open wide to receive the codexes that we are ready to assimilate. to be the anchors of the new dawn, to participate in this era we have traveled so many lifetimes to be part of. Let us position ourselves as one cord of true blueprint and divine design, anchoring our bodies into the cosmic grid, as well as all the way into the core center of Gaia Sophia, connecting with the diamond arcs and connecting with the crystalline grids and the kingdoms within the earth, connecting with the inner planes of the formation of creation that are most energized at the moment, and allowing the sequences of codexes to assimilate and integrate in our architecture in the best and highest way, in the highest octave of truth, and in the best and highest trajectory for our soul's mission, for our inner light, in accordance with our inner compass and divine knowing, and in tune with the resonance of the heart as it weaves with the heart of the One, the cosmic breath, and the divine symmetric pattern that we are now beginning to become more in tune with. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. And I will just count slowly from 1 to 3, just to really sense back into the space you're in and come back into the physical vessel that you are, this beautiful body that moves through all these transitions and transmutations. And just noticing the beautiful light of the cosmos embedded in every cell of your body. And to just coming back into the sensations of this now moment, the present moment in this body that you are in, this home that is always with you. Being deeply grateful for this home that is inside of you, that you can always dive into. And at 3, coming fully back into this physical plane we are dancing with, as we dance with all other planes, and we are grateful to be here with Gaia Sophia.
Beautiful. I hope everyone feels very grounded and deep in that beautiful light body that's illuminating each and every space you're all sitting in today. Thank you, my dear. And if the audience wants to get in touch with you, where shall they find you?
HealingRootsHypnotherapy.com.
And I'm Shannon. I'm at shannonpardini.com. And you'll find Dafna and I sharing a lot of channeled information and dancing through it in 2022. So we want to wish you all the most beautiful entry into 2022. Woo, 6. Any last words?
Oh, thank you everybody for being here at this time and for participating in this beautiful dance we are having that can be intense, but we all know that there is something amazing forming through us. So thank you. Just thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you, sister. All right, we are signing off.